Arnab Goswami on the debate at 8. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group and NECC.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week we saw the Supreme Court deliver its order, its views in the Gyanvapi case. The Supreme Court during the hearing made a passing observation on how the courts were seasoned at doing their job. But the courts of India, right from the lower courts to the highest court of law, have unfortunately been subject to attack, an unfortunate attack. Gyanvapi is a case study of how the lobby and a section of the politicians target our courts. But it is certainly not the only case. Whether it was Rafale or Shaheen, Bagh or Ayodhya, there has been an attempt at casting aspersions on the judiciary. There has been an attempt to discredit our courts of law. And there has been an attempt to disregard their impartiality as and when a verdict doesn't go the lobby's way. But this pattern cannot go unchecked. On this Sunday edition of the debate, the question is simple. Is disrespect for courts becoming a pattern? And if it is, ladies and gentlemen, if it is, can it continue? Now, whether it is Gyanvapi now or Shaheen Bagh in the past, for one section, is disrespecting the law, the courts of law becoming a pattern in this country? That's our Sunday debate, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, what happened in the Gyanvapi dispute is not a solitary instance, it's an absolute pattern. It's a pattern to pressurize our judiciary. And when that fails, a pattern to try and discredit them. And finally, it's a pattern to outright try and insult our judicial process. A section has done it time and again. Rafale, Shaheen Bagh, now Gyanvapi. Tonight, it is time to call them out. But first, here is the story.
The Gyanvapi case was being heard in multiple courts, and these courts have become subject to insult.
Order of the trial court is completely wrong, unfair, illegal. It violates 1991 Act and procedural unfairness.
Look at the wild commentary that followed. Courts were accused of disappointing the oppressed, of helping escalate Hindutva claims, and of turning a blind eye to injustice. The opposition has tried to create an air of concern around the judiciary.
The judiciary, the election commission, Pegasus, these are all instruments of destroying the voice of the Union of States.
The attempt has been to discredit the judiciary.
जो ऑफसेट पार्टनर है उसका सिलेक्शन तो डेसॉल्ट ने किया है, उसका सरकार से कोई लेना देना नहीं था और इस आधार पर उन्होंने ये पिटिशंस को डिसमिस कर दिया है। देखिए, मेरी राय में ये फैसला बिल्कुल गलत है।
Those like Sirjul Imam actively insulted courts. Progressive decisions have been villainized. It has happened too many times. It is now time to call out those who disrespect the courts. The judiciary cannot be subject to a hot job. Not anymore. Let's debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, on the debate, this Sunday, Gaurav Bhatia of the BJP, Mohandas Pai, Deshratan Nigam, advocate in the Supreme Court. We have with us Professor Sangeet Ragi, political analyst and Yukti Rathi lawyer. Advocate Waris Pathan is on the debate. Zeba Yasmeen, national spokesperson, Samajwadi Party, Professor D.K. Giri, Surendra Chauhan, and Tausif Ahmad Khan. And I just want to open the debate straight, you know. Let's not leave anything to the imagination. The fact is, Waris Pathan and Gaurav Bhatia are opening. The Gyanvapi case has become a case study. It has become a case study. It has become a case study, Waris, of how there is a cabal in this country, of which unfortunately you are a leading light. A cabal that tries to pressurize our courts, and when that fails, when that fails, tries to discredit the courts. And I ask you today, have you no allegiance to the process of law? What is Pathan? What's going on? You make a mockery of justice and the courts that are enshrined with the powers independent of the executive and the legislature. You're being irresponsible. And you've overdone it in the Gyanvapi case.
Are you talking about
what
the
is?
BJP?
You've overdone it.
No, are you talking about the
I'm
BJP
talking about
and the
you,
Vishwa Hindu Parishad?
your
They are
party.
ignorant about law. They don't follow the rule of law. They don't follow the constitution. We clearly say we follow the constitution, we follow the rule of law. And even in Gyanvapi Mosque case, what did he say? The places of worship Act 1991 is clear that the character and nature of the place of worship cannot be changed. The places of worship were erected with an intention, Mr. Goswami. It was clear that those worship places which are there since 15 August 1947, you cannot change the character and nature. The Supreme Court, while hearing the civil dispute in the Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi case, has taken cognizance of this thing, and they say this is a part of basic structure of our constitution. And it's clear, the judgment says that no, till that date, nothing. After that, you cannot change anything. You just feel that there is something in the masjid and you want to change the character, you won't be able to. Even now, the Supreme Court, what did they say? Let the magistrate pass an order, let the magistrate decide. But our thing is clear, you cannot change the character. The Supreme Court said you can pray there. They even made a point that you can use the wazu khana. Because wazu, the ablution, is part of our prayer, our namaz, so we have to make it. And they have stated so. Make arrangement for the wazu khana. But here what they are saying, jeet gaye, ho gaya. Who are they? Arnab, come with me to any historical mosque in our country. There are several of them. I will take you and I'll show you where there is a wazu khana. In between that, there is a fountain. What about the Taj Mahal? Now our apprehensions are coming
That's not
true.
even the issue
What
here.
we said that
That's
they
not
want
even
to
the
take
issue
us
here.
to the Babri era.
There's not even an issue here. The fact of the matter is, and Gaurav, he denies. He denies the charge. He denies the charge outright. He denies the charge outright. And the charge is, the charge is, was there or was there not an attempt to question the impartiality of the judiciary? Was there or was there not an attempt to question the impartiality of the judiciary? Is the only question we have to start with today on this debate. I'd like Gaurav to come in. Gaurav.
So Arnab, I hope Varis will extend the same courtesy to me and hear me out. First of all, leaders with communal character are today talking about character of a religious place. And the larger question of the debate would be, Arnab, that your faith in the Constitution of India and the judiciary is not a tool of convenience that you pick and choose. Whenever it suits you, you hail the court. When it doesn't suit you, you try to reprimand it, you try to cast aspersions, browbeat the court. It's an article of faith, but these people won't understand. And let me cite some examples. You remember Shaheen Bagh? Shaheen Bagh was a protest against a validly passed law, the Citizenship Amendment Act. Now, Arnab, today, the briefless barrister, Mr. Owaisi, is talking about Places of Worship Act, which is again a law like the Citizenship Amendment Act. If he believes in Places of Worship Act, why doesn't he believe in Citizenship Amendment Act? That is because he will pick and choose. And they insult the judiciary every time. You remember, today he is relying on the judgment of the Supreme Court in the Ram Mandir matter. But it was Owaisi who said, and I have his tweet in my hand, he said Babri Masjid thi or Babri Masjid rahegi. I would ask Varis Pathan and Mr. Owaisi, when Supreme Court has adjudicated in the matter, how can you say Babri Masjid thi or rahegi? You have to respect the Supreme Court. Second, you remember what happened in the Triple Talaq matter? We made it an offense, an act was brought, but they opposed it. Remember what happened in the Judge Loya matter? Arnab, Judge Loya matter verdict came and the then Chief Justice of India was impeached. You know, there was a motion brought by the Congress party to impeach him. And what happened after that? When the Vice President of India, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, rejected the motion, they said we will not press for it in the Supreme Court. And let me lastly come to Rahul Gandhi. You know, Rahul Gandhi is a leader who said the judiciary of the country, the Supreme Court, is being run by two people. And he's the same Rahul Gandhi who, after insulting and lying on the Rafale issue, not accepting the verdict of the Supreme Court, later apologized for making a false statement. So their respect is only for their vote bank politics, not for the judiciary of the country, which is strong, which is resilient, and which will stand with the citizens of the country.
I have my objection.
Yes,
on you calling my party president with names.
What is I need to get others also on the debate. I need to get others also into the debate. So I will throw that. I will throw that very question to Surendra Chaudhary and Mohandas Pai on the debate. And the question is this. You see, I saw this article, Mohandas Pai, which says Surendra Chauhan and Mohandas Pai are on the debate. And this article said, from Babri to Gyanvapi, how India's courts have helped to escalate Hindu claims on mosques. And the point of anger of these people, this digital Lutyens lobby, is the following. Why is the court allowing the petitions to be brought into the court? They are saying the courts should immediately reject these petitions under the Places of Worship Act 1991. Now, today I think we are very well aware of the views of Justice Chandrachud, who's made things absolutely clear on the applicability or not applicability of the Places of Worship Act. The point is, Mohandas Pai, have we come to a point where the Lutyens media will decide whether the Places of Worship Act is applicable, or the courts will decide?
Arnab, we have seen this kind of a trend by the Lutyens lobby to discourage the courts for a long period of time. Please remember, they put pressure on the Supreme Court also in the CAA case, Shaheen Bagh case, where sadly the Supreme Court had a panel of lawyers to go meet these disruptors, and they refused to talk to them, and the same team came back and reported Supreme Court. Supreme Court should have taken a decision on the rule of law, but went out of the way to appear fair to these people. They also said that if they don't get the decision in the hijab case, they will not obey the law. Those girls were on TV to say whether the decision is in our favor or not, we will not obey the law. Many of them will say our religion is above the law, our religion is above the constitution. I want to tell them, all this religion above the constitution went out of the window on the 15th of August 1947 when you got our freedom. On the 26th of January 1950, when you got a constitution, we became a country governed by the rule of law, not the rule of fundamentalists, not the rule of the people who took to the street in the direct action day, not the rule of all these kind of, terrorists who come and threaten us that they are above the law. Nobody is above the law. Now, the court should not be intimidated. The court should be allowed to do his job. And if these people try to intimidate the rights of articles, putting pressure on the government, I think the court should put their foot down, and we as citizens should expose them. Now, in the Sabarimala case, the case went against the Hindu community. People accepted it. People are unhappy. They accepted it. They did not say we will not obey the court decision. They accepted it. We all have to obey the court decision. That is the rule of law. We can appeal. But I think all this intimidation has to stop, and they are intimidating.
Surendra Chauhan, you see, the way I look at it is this.
I disagree with him.
No. Okay, Surendra Chauhan is responding to Mohandas Pai, please. Two on the screen. Thank you. Surendra Chauhan is responding to Mohandas Pai, please. Thank you.
Mohandas ji, nobody is intimidating and nobody is threatening. Everybody has a respect for the rule of law. Everybody accepting the Babri verdict. And Babri verdict, there is a section 5 is there. In the Places of Worship Provisional Act, there is a section 5 is there. Babri Masjid issue was not involved in that. There is an act not to apply to Ram Janam Bhoomi Babri Masjid. So that act clearly says Babri Masjid issue was kept away from that act. Now the fact of the matter is Gyanvapi issue is there. Well, recently I visited Kashi Vishwanath. A nice corridor has come up with the Prime Minister of India, and very well it has been done. Now why the issue of Gyanvapi is left out is now construction is there, all right. Now time has come now how the politicians' religious hatred to be countered by the citizens. Now time is there that we Hindu and Muslim
where's
sit
the
together
religious
and
hatred
resolve
here?
the issue.
No.
Are you
Surendra Chauhan.
Are you taking?
Surendra Chauhan.
No, it is a religious hatred.
Surendra Chauhan, that's a very
Is the
simplistic argument. The case is very simple. The case is very simple. The case is very simple. Let me explain to you. I'll tell you the case. And Zeba is on there. Zeba, Yasmeen and DK Giri, please come on the screen, along with Deshratan Nigam and Sangeet Ragi. The case is very simple. Here's how I look at it, DK Giri and Zeba. I think there are people who have become unpopular in this country. As in like political parties, rejected. They have tried very hard, but they've been rejected by the people of the country. Now, along with this political parties losing their power, this political party had a affiliate media which has lost its power, and therefore it tried to exercise control and power in this country through a group of 5-6 lawyers in the Supreme Court. And these 5-6 lawyers, largely all with very strong political affiliations, disrespectful of the judicial process, very arrogant, thought that they could decide what is right or wrong in this country. But when a Rafale case comes, they don't win. When a Shaheen Bagh case comes, the Supreme Court has its own view. When Gyanvapi comes, Deshratan Nigam, the Supreme Court has its own view. So what they do, Deshratan Nigam, they try to put pressure on the Supreme Court of the country by putting out articles almost trying to put pressure on the Supreme Court of the country. So they straight go for criticism of Supreme Court. And this is the kind of article they put out. This article, by allowing the Gyanvapi mosque survey, the Supreme Court has turned a blind eye towards injustice, Zeba. In other words, saying the Supreme Court is unfair. And they think they are going to pressurize the Supreme Court in this way. Zeba, this kind of pressure will not work. This is an attempt at pressurizing the courts of the country.
Arnab, when you
it's unbelievable how bold these people have become. I'd like Zeba to come in first and then Deshratan Nigam to respond. Yes, Zeba.
Arnab, when you opened the debate, you said that Supreme Court is being pressurized and it is being disturbed. I don't think it is true. I don't completely agree with you, because who has the audacity to do that? I really wonder who has the audacity. And the other thing, what Gaurav
I'm not saying the Supreme Court is being pressurized. I'm saying there are attempts to question the court. I didn't say the Supreme Court is being pressurized. Please don't misquote me. I said there are
given by the Constitution
attempts to put pressure on the court.
Any verdict.
Arnab, everyday efforts are being made through written articles, social media campaigns, and all kinds of TV debates. An effort is being made to pressurize. You are absolutely right. But it is our judiciary at the highest level which is resisting these efforts. Sometimes we have seen that the Supreme Court taking a step backward. And therefore,
why don't we show our patience? Why are we jumping into the decision of the court? Why are we not waiting for the verdict? Why are we jumping in? So the role goes to media as well. If you're saying that Supreme Court is being pressurized, then I would set blame to media as well.
Let me answer.
Why these dharma gurus, why these political party people sitting together and discussing across the table? Are we going to take out the verdict after this 1 hour of discussion? No. It is media also who's wasting time for this.
Let me answer you in very categorical terms. A healthy debate on a TV channel is always appreciated to inform the audience to make correct decisions and choices. This is the role of the TV debates. However, some channels have their own agenda. I am not going to comment on that. But the fact remains, the civilizational expression of the Indian people is coming to the fore. It has nothing to do with BJP. It has nothing to do with any political parties. The truth which was hidden is coming out. Truth has ways of coming out. Now this is truth versus lies. There are a set of people who want the truth to come out. There are people who want to hide it.
Guess on the left.
Who do you want to stand with? You have to take a decision. Who do you want to stand with? And even today, Justice Chandrachud said...
the straight question...
This is quite simplistic.
No, it is simplistic. It is being made complicated.
What is simplistic?
Even Justice Chandrachud observed today, 1991
It
Act
is
does
I
not
am
bar
saying,
the ascertainment
Arnab,
of the
Desrathan
nature of the
Nigam's
place.
explanation is very simplistic. This is a democracy. People are entitled to their views. It is a competitive politics. Arnab, I like you, you don't like me. These are subjective matters. Let us argue on the merit of the case, whether people they like each other or not, and the civilizational definition of India that Desrathan Nigam is articulating, I don't agree. So I am entitled to my view. So
Mr. Giri, the actual civilization expression is...
I can also, I am entitled to ask you.
Civilization expression is to stand with the truth. Sanatan Dharma stands with the truth, to find out the truth. This is our civilization expression.
Truth is not absolute.
Truth is absolute. Truth is absolute. Truth is absolute. Truth is absolute.
This is your problem. This is your problem.
See, that is the problem. When you don't stand with the truth, then you say, you parade lies as truth. You cannot parade lies as truth.
Let me ask you.
No, then I have a counter. DK, I'm also getting Sangeet Ragi into this with you. So Sangeet Ragi and DK will debate, and I want to ask one question here. One question, DK. You answer this question and let Sangeet Ragi take it.
Yes.
OAC has been going on and on saying that the order of the lower court is in gross violation of the Parliament Act of 1991. You have been saying Surendra Chauhan and Waris Pathan ad nauseum. And Waris Pathan thinks, therefore, that he is more knowledgeable than the Supreme Court judges. The Supreme Court judges have observed that the ascertainment of religious character does not violate the 1991 Act. Are you saying to me today, Sangeet Ragi, is Waris Pathan saying he is more knowledgeable than the Supreme Court judges? Then let him say so.
Where do they say?
Let him prove so.
Where do they say? Where do they use this phrase? Show
Waris, now it
Are
is,
you more knowledgeable than the Supreme Court judges?
Waris, allow me to speak. Waris, allow me to speak.
I'm asking you if you are
First of
knowledgeable.
all,
Kindly show me where I have
Waris, allow me to speak. Waris, the Supreme Court, which heard the case today, is well aware of this fact, is well aware of the 1991 Act, and it has rightly, if it has given it back to the district judge of Varanasi Court, then the Supreme Court has full faith in the judiciary working at the district level. So please respect the judiciary. Number two, this is not a case between Hindu and Muslim, Waris Pathan. Please don't make it a case between Hindu and Muslim. The matter of fact is there is a clear evidence of mandir existing at Gyanvapi, which you call. Now, the problem with the Muslims community is Waris Pathan, that they are trying to own up the destruction and injustices done to our civilizational and spiritual entity. The invaders destroyed our temples.
I want to answer.
And unfortunately, the Muslims of today are owning up the destruction done by those invaders.
Please
don't do Waris Pathan. The conflict Hindus and the Muslims. The conflict is between the faith of millions of Hindus whose temples in the history has been destroyed by the invaders who came from outside.
Let Sangeet Ragi complete his point. Don't be impatient.
Number three, wait. You have given lot of opportunity. Third point I want to make, and very categorically, that 1991 Act is something like that. I'm giving you an anecdote. It is just like the robbery or the illegal occupation or the destruction that took place before 1947 cannot be heard in the court. This is something I cannot think of, that something which has been done, illegally occupied, destroyed by invaders,
Arnab,
now
it
cannot be independent. India cannot be. I'm asking a question.
DK, I will.
I'm asking a question. In 1947, this country was divided in name of religion. In 1947, the country became independent. The Hindus have every right to ask this question. What happened to our civilizational and spiritual temples? What happened to? Why the Hindus are not entitled to those temples which were destroyed by invaders? They were outsiders. They were not Indians who had a faith, who had a different faith.
No,
but they came, they didn't respect our faith and they destroyed our temples, the spiritual places, our worship places. And after independence, why the Hindus cannot claim for that? Why? I'm asking. What Hindus got after independence? This is my important question. Muslims got Pakistan in name
I wish to bring in Tawseef Ahmad Khan also into the debate, along with Yukti Rakhi, and I'm just going back to Mohandas Pai. So Mohandas Pai, don't go anywhere, Mohandas Pai. I'm remaining focused on this, and I wish to bring in DK. DK is on the debate with Yukti Rathi. DK is on the debate with Yukti Rathi. Now DK, I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
But let me
I have
answer.
a question for you.
Yes.
See,
I hope you. Yes.
No, sir, I have a question for you. The courts of law in this country and their judgments are not like a buffet being served to you, where you can pick and choose which verdict you like and which you don't. Am I right, Mohandas Pai? This is the only best example I can give you. You cannot decide which orders are good and which are not, in which case Supreme Court is good, in which case Supreme Court is bad. You see, DK, Congress hails the Supreme Court order on Pegasus, but has a problem with the PM Cares verdict. Jamiyat-e-Ulema-e-Hind hails the Supreme Court stay on the Jahangirpuri demolition, but has problems with the hijab verdict. They are fine with the Aadhaar judgment, but they question the Rafale one. They hail the Supreme Court in the Karnataka case, question it in the Goa case. It doesn't work like that. You contest the decision on the sedition law.
No, it does not.
But you mock the Supreme Court for charging Prashant Bhushan with contempt. No, you understand. And I'm saying today, there is a group which I call the legal cabal, which has had it too good for too long. You understand? And by the way, DK, insulting the judiciary has become a pattern for these people.
I agree.
You know what they said? They said these people said Supreme Court aided and gave Modi government cover in the Rafale Supreme Court verdict. Why? This lobby said the Ayodhya verdict confirmed the status of Muslims as second-class citizens. You know, no, don't. Why don't you like to hear these things? Did they say this or not?
And I got it. I heard it.
They said these things.
No, that is not fair.
No, relevant evidences are before the court.
Let me tell you, it is not a fight between Hindu and Muslims. It is our
DK, Yukti, 1 minute. DK, let DK speak first. Yeah, DK.
Portuguese came.
No. This is a fight because relevant evidences are before the court.
Santosh Ragi said, Madam, can you hold on, please? He has asked me to speak. You are not
confusing evidence.
Let him complete. Let DK complete. Yukti, let DK complete.
Yes, madam, please hold on. I will speak very briefly. You see, Santosh Ragi said it is not between Hindu and Muslim. Absolutely correct. The question is how we deal with our history. English came, Mughals came, Portuguese came, French came to India. How are you going to undo the entire history? Where is your cutoff point? When you say it is our country, it is our civilization, do the Muslims, Christians, Parsis and others don't belong here? That is all I am saying. That is the only point I am making. When you say it is our India, where do the Muslims, Christians, Parsis, Zoroastrians, everybody else go? Whatever is their number. What is this?
Why are you making a point which does not need to be? Who's denying history? Who's denying history? Who's denying history here?
Absolutely. This is the whole
temple is still there.
You tell Mohandas Pai who's denying history here? Who's denying history here? Tell Mohandas Pai who's denying history. DK and Mohandas Pai.
You are denying history. You are denying the real history.
In fact, I'm telling you to accept. You are denying history. You are denying. I'm only asking for DK and Mohandas Pai on the screen, please. Who's denying history? Who's denying history, DK?
You see, many temples were converted into mosques. What are you going to do it? Everybody, you are distorting history and denying history. That is the point. That is all. And you can't do that.
Yes.
How far will you go? Basic archaeological evidence, archaeological and political. Courts are basic distance or archaeological evidence. You know, if you dig everything,
go on, Mohandas Pai.
Temples, what will you do? Destroy all the mosques?
Mohandas Pai, go on.
What is this? This is not on. Don't
Giri, please keep quiet.
Sir, go on. DK, you got to stop. Mohandas Pai wants to intervene now.
No, let Arnab say it.
Arnab, Giri, please keep quiet. Arnab, all of us are equal citizens of this country. All of us are equal citizens. Nobody is superior, nobody is inferior. There is no divide between people based on religion. We have the same rights in this country. Having said that, there are disputes between communities. It is the historical fact that Hindu temples have been destroyed, mosques have been created on top. It is very evident. The Hindus are agitated. The matter has to be decided. Now there's a 1991 law. The key issue is, do these issues come within the 1991 law or not? That is for the court to decide. Let the court decide. Why are these people getting agitated? Why are these people saying don't go to court? We have the freedom to go to court on any matter. Nobody can prevent you from going to court. The Supreme Court has said, this is for hearing. Let them hear it. Why do you write articles where you say the Supreme Court is helping one group of people against other group of people? Why do you write articles attacking the Supreme Court? Because the Supreme Court said, let the dispute be decided by a court of law. Why do you saying the Supreme Court is partial? These are all very wrong. And these are intimidation of the Supreme Court. And we must stand up as citizens and stop all this. And I think Giri is a standing example how they intimidate courts and people who want to speak.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Yes, you are. Keep quiet. We listen to you, keep quiet.
See, if I can intimidate
keep quiet, we listen to you, Giri.
No, don't tell me that.
Giri, please keep quiet. We listen to you, it's not your turn.
You shut up. Don't tell that. Only Arnab can say it. Arnab can say it. You cannot say it. You are a debater like me. You don't ask me to keep quiet.
You have no right to come in my way of talking, so please keep quiet. It's not your turn.
Only Arnab can
obey the law.
You have no right. Only Arnab can ask me to keep quiet, not you.
Obey the law, he says.
On this television.
Obey the law. He says.
Who are you?
I wish to come in for a minute. I wish to come in for a minute. You know, I tell you where it started.
Yes.
And where it became very apparent to me, Tausif Ahmad Khan and Yukti Rathi, was when they started criticizing the Supreme Court's position on Shaheen Bagh. And they ran a campaign, Tausif Ahmad Khan. They said that the Supreme Court's Shaheen Bagh judgment is well-meaning judicial anguish, not binding law. Despite the Supreme Court saying that there can't be continued occupation of a highway. The Supreme Court said there cannot be continued occupation in the case of prolonged protest or dissent. So for one lobby, the courts of this country have become a villain. Because the courts of the lobby are rightly interpreting the law in the way it should be done. These people thought they're a parallel legal system in this country.
Yeah, they are worried. They are worried because they know that restoration work of old Hindu temples will be done. Then thousands of such temples will be re-established, which were snatched by the Mughals.
The judiciary functions with the relationship of bar and bench. Bench alone cannot function without the bar. The judiciary, in order for judiciary to function, there has to be bar as well as bench. So members of bars,
look at that.
You cannot come to them, insult them that what they think.
Undermining the benches now. You saw that
what today Supreme Court has done. Supreme Court has taken
openly undermining the benches of the country.
Away
Very
from
good.
the Varanasi judge.
Tausif, let me answer you. Since we both appear regularly in courts, let me answer you. Since I'm a part of the bar, you are also a part of the bar. Don't insult the bar and the bench both.
For that
let me answer.
In order.
The Supreme Court, let me tell you, in Supreme Court and Delhi High Court, the bar is very supportive of the bench. Bar is the eyes and ears of the bench. Please remember. And we have been very supportive of the bench passing orders. We do not like the politicians trying to undermine the court and their cabal and the few lawyers who try to undermine the Supreme Court. Please understand. And the contempt of court.
Tausif.
For such people.
No interference.
Tausif, both of you are lawyers, hear me.
Perform the namaz and go and
both of you are lawyers, hear me. Now you see, Tausif, 1 minute. Tausif, listen. Thank you, Tausif. there is a section of people which have gone all out to question the independence of the judiciary. What does the government have to do with the judiciary? Judiciary and executive are separate. They are empowered to work in conjunction by law and act as checks and balances on the system. But there were people, were there not? And will you be a dishonest person tonight? I ask you point blank. 1 minute, I have not asked you the question. Don't deliver the answer. First listen to the question. 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 Listen to the question. You think, listen, Tausif, there's no point shouting over me because my questions are piercing, straightforward, and viewers want to listen to them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now listen to me. Now listen to me, my friend. Listen. Calm down. Calm down. You're getting a little sensitive. Why? What's happened today? What's happened? Is it, Tausif?
Told us, told the people of India that not everything was right in the top court, not everything was right in the apex court, that they were under pressure. Yes, how can we forget that? Just a few years ago, the senior most judges held a press conference and told the people of India that not everything was right. Today, if you're putting a blame on either side, you must have a concrete evidence before putting a blame. Today, Supreme Court intervened and taken the case away from the judge who was previously hearing the case and gave it to a senior judge.
Do you know the reason? Do you know the reason? Do you know the reason, Mr. Tausif Khan?
That Wazoo must.
Do you know the reason for that?
No. He's being so smart.
Cannot be changed.
No, Deshratan, now Tausif has to stop. If he doesn't stop, then I can't speak. He'll have to stop, and then he'll say I'm curbing his democratic rights by coming in. So I go to Waris right now. Let me tell you, Waris is on the debate. Waris is on the debate because he's not stopping the debate being this. The debate being this. As far as I understand, Waris is on one side. Waris is on one side. Waris is on one side right now, and Sangeet Ragi is on other side. Let me tell you what has happened in the court. What has happened in the court? I just give me a moment, Sangeet Ragi. And I'm not going into this today. Subject of debate is not this. Subject of debate is the attempt to criticize, insult, attack, put kind of pressure, put some kind of a dilemma before the judiciary of this country. Now, here's the question. As far as what you said, Tausif, you are wrong because Justice Chandrachud clearly said, and I think you are unaware, I forgive you, he said, and that's why Waris is jumping up and down today like he's sitting on a trampoline. Justice Chandrachud said that under the Places of Worship Act 1991, there is no bar on the ascertainment of the religious character of a place. No blanket bar.
Exactly.
No blanket bar. And Justice Chandrachud said that hybrid religious structures are not unknown in India. Right? Since symbols of different religions are found in the same place, by the same place, and that's what Justice Chandrachud said.
Chandrachud allowed there. In fact, the court allowed prayer to be offered there. Namas can be performed.
Arnab, the matter of fact is that in 1947 there were thousands of places of worship whose nature, religious nature was not defined at all.
One of you has to stop. One of you has to stop. Okay, Sangeet Ragi, stop for a minute. Sangeet Ragi, stop for a minute. Sangeet Ragi, stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. Let me deal with Waris Pathan. Waris Pathan, come here. 1-to-1 with me. Listen to me for a minute, please. Waris, since I know how to handle you and the others don't. Mohandas Pai, I'm losing your screen. If you can just pull down your screen a little bit, I can see you there, but I'm losing part of your very impressive visage. Thank you very much. Now the question being, Waris Pathan to you. Waris Pathan, cool down and chill. All right, cool down and chill. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't get nervous because I haven't delivered a Brahmastra to you yet. You people, particularly you, since you are nothing but a serial offender, inspired by Owaisi, so that makes you a very dangerous serial offender. You people tried to put pressure on Justice Ranjan Gogoi. You tried to say that Justice Gogoi's judgments work in favor of the Modi government. The fact is, Justice Gogoi passed these judgments under the authority granted to him as Chief Justice of India under the Constitution's Article 124. You should be ashamed of yourself because when Justice Gogoi walked out with 5 judges and was part of that press conference, you were part of the lobby. You were part of the lobby that celebrated him. And the moment he delivered the Ayodhya verdict. People like you try to use all underhand attempts to attack him and put pressure on him. So shame on you for doing that. Shame on you for trying to put pressure on a Supreme Court judge. That also a Chief Justice, which you did indirectly. Which you did indirectly. Which you did.
Who was the... Allow me, Justice J.S. Verma, who was the Supreme Court judge, has said Supreme Court is supreme but not infallible. He made that. But now coming to the point, efforts are being made by the BJP and the RSS to create anarchy in our country, to create hatred amongst the Muslims, to see that of Hindus, see what they are doing for you. Now, to
says a person
that,
who doesn't listen to the judiciary.
The parliament law. To create that, they don't want to follow the Supreme Court law. To create that, now
but it's for the court to decide who's surpassing the parliament law, not a
When the law is clear, but you are misinterpreting the court. Court said, if masjid ke andar agar koi cheez
so he's declaring independence from the judiciary.
Of that place.
So the gentleman has declared independence from the legal processes of the country.
That is what the intention of the...
Arnab.
Yeah.
Anybody,
so you live in a la-la land, ruled by, for, and in every way in service of the IMM.
Arnab, your flight got delayed because of Waris Pathan. You can blame me for that as well. Your flight got delayed because of Waris Pathan. Everything you can blame me, I am ready to take. You cannot take away freedom of expression from me. The Constitution has given me. But the BJP...
You're losing the debate so badly today, you know.
Upon seeing that anarchy...
You're losing the debate so badly, and people are saying off late Waris is just out of form in the debates. You know, he's like Virat Kohli. He's going out for a duck every time. Your form is like Virat Kohli's nowadays.
I always give a century. I always hit sixers and fours. I know what I am doing. But you, because I am speaking the truth, you want to stop me. But truth prevails at the end. Arnab, let me tell you, the places of worship will prevail. The honorable court will say,
Mohandas Pai is countering you, ladies and gentlemen, in the heated part of the debate. Mohandas Pai is on the debate right now with Waris Pathan. Yes, Mr. Pai.
You cannot change that.
What the court says the truth to be, not the truth. What Waris Pathan say, I say, you say.
Come with me, Arnab.
What is the truth? The truth is what the court says.
Waris, wait a minute. Waris,
you got to stop.
Waris, stop for a minute. Waris, stop for a minute. One of you won't both speak together. Waris, just stop. Mohandas Pai is on the debate. Mohandas Pai is on the debate.
Arnab, the truth is in a dispute. What the court says the truth to be. It is not what OIC says, and what Waris says, I say, and you say. The court has to decide. And the court said this is the truth in the dispute. We have to obey the court. That is it. Why is Waris saying the Supreme Court is not going to look into the matter when all of us have a right to go before the Supreme Court and agitate any matter? What is wrong in filing cases? What is wrong in agitating? What is wrong in going before the court? But once the court decides, we have to obey the law.
I am sure.
Why is he getting upset about people going to the court?
Care of the places of worship in 1991.
1 minute, Waris, 1 minute. Subrashta is joining the debate right now as well. Okay, I'm told Subrashta is joining the debate, so I want a word from you. And at the time that you're joining the debate, Waris Pathan has been frothing at the mouth. And he's just not being able to articulate. He's at a loss for words. He doesn't know what to do. He attacks the judiciary one day, criticizes it, realizes he's overstepped. And the only question, Subrashta, that people like Waris Pathan and DK Giri have to answer today is this. I request you be quiet, sir, please, sir. You know, when what happens is when a cricketer out of form tries to swing at the ball, he loses his wicket. And you've just been losing your wicket in too many debates. मुझे तो सुन लो ना अभी Subrashta is responding to you. Anyway, when Subrashta speaks, you're not able to respond. So let her speak.
And you will have to come before the nation and apologize, Arnab.
That's all right. Of course they will. Why the Supreme Court? The district court who have been allocated the job. Waris, just be quiet. Waris, you keep speaking, I'll walk out. You keep speaking like this, I'm going to walk out. You want me to walk out because you're just uncontrollable today.
Waris bhai.
Uncontrollable today.
Let's take a look at news from across the world in brief. The first flights of infant formula from Europe to relieve a deepening US shortage are due to arrive in Indiana abroad military aircraft this weekend. The White House said that 132 pallets of the Nestle Health Science Alfamino Infant and Alfamino Junior formula were taking off from Ramstein Air Base in Germany. European Council President Charles Michel continued his visit to the capital of Bosnia on Saturday amid the country's escalating political crisis. Michel held talks with the leaders of the Muslim Party of Democratic Action, or the SDA, and the Croatian Democratic Union. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Saturday said war will not be waged on Russian territory, but reminded the international community that the Donbas region remains sovereign to Ukraine. He also said that the Ukraine did not need any alternative financial aid schemes to stand in place of the European Union extension, and arguing that half measures in this area were akin to compromising with Russians. Some residents of Kharkiv say that they are eager to return home despite the uncertainty of the fighting and the risk renewed shelling as well. Russian forces besieged the city at the beginning of their invasion as it sought to capture the prize of the Ukrainian second largest city. Russian troops have been guarding the Kakhovka hydroelectric station, a power plant in the Dnipro River in the Kherson region of the southern Ukraine. The letter Z is painted on their uniforms, a symbol signifying the Russian special military operation in Ukraine as well. The Kherson region will be under the control of Russian forces since early.
District and Session Judge in Varanasi will hear the civil suit by the Hindu parties seeking to worship inside the Gyanvapi Masjid as part of the Kashi Vishwanath temple. AIC's lawyers say that they will question the maintainability of the Gyanvapi suit before the district and session judge in Varanasi.
Quick roundup of news in brief. Indian Air Force is currently evacuating citizens, airlifting rescue teams and supplying relief material to areas cut off due to floods in Assam. Meanwhile, rescue and relief operations are underway in flood-affected villages in Hojai district. According to the NDRF, more than 500 people have been rescued in this area. A truck full of cows caught fire at the Chapakheda in Madhya Pradesh, while 5 cows and 4 calves were burnt alive. 5 cows are said to be injured. The cause of the fire is still being investigated. At present, the police have registered a case in this matter. Eight people died in a horrific road accident in Siddharthnagar district of Uttar Pradesh late last night. The Bolero hit a poorly parked trailer on the side of the road late last night, killing the 8 occupants on the spot, while 3 others were injured. The bodies of the deceased have been sent to for post-mortem. The Chief Minister, meanwhile, expressed condolences over the loss of lives. In a suspected case of suicide, 3 family members were found dead in a flat in Vasant Vihar, Delhi. A woman and her 2 daughters were found dead inside the apartment. The police suspect that all 3 died due to suffocation, while a suicide note was also recovered from the scene. Meanwhile, in Goa, a fatal road accident was reported in Mapusa. The incident claimed the lives of 3 youth.
NCP Chief Sharad Pawar on Saturday alleged that the controversy surrounding Varanasi's Gyanvapi Mosque was part of efforts by the BJP to divert people's attention from the issues such as inflation and unemployment. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, as he urged people to back his party in the next assembly polls, said that the Congress has no enmity with the BJP or Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but its fight is of ideology. A Sessions Court on Saturday dismissed the anticipatory bail plea filed by senior politician PC George in connection with the hate speech case, saying his comments appear to be of such a nature as to promote disharmony, hatred and ill between communities. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao on Saturday took a tour of Delhi's government schools and Mohalla clinics.
What I want to know, Subrashta, is 8 weeks from now, for the courts have been given, the district court, the higher court, they attack the lower court. I want to know, Subrashta, whether they will attack the district courts also, or whether tomorrow they'll attack the high courts also. and they will continue to attack the court. And the question is whether they will accept whatever the district court says in the Gyanvapi case 8 weeks from now.
So, Arnab, I see this entire debate as a concentration of whatever has been going on in this country for the past 6-7 years now, with a fresh dash of what happened in Ayodhya. So I'm not surprised at the reaction that Varis Pathan is, giving, or people like Varis Pathan are giving. We all know that the very same people who have no trust in the sanctity of our democratic institutions, these are the very same people who cry foul about democracy faltering. And on your show, in this very show, you said that Supreme Court it's not like Supreme Court cannot make mistakes and all of that. So to ask a question whether they will very easily and calmly accept the verdict by the district authority, that's not going to happen. We all know it's not going to happen. The matter will again come to the Supreme Court. In the process, what is actually being highlighted is the deeply divisive nature of politics that people like Varis Pathan have managed to not just foment, but actually make votes and money out of it. I'll tell you how. Now, from the beginning of this whole debate on, if one were to term it as a Hindutva debate, then let us make it very clear that there are just 3 temples being talked about: Ayodhya, Mathura and Kashi. Nobody is talking about scores and scores of temples which have been, it's a part of history that our temples have been.
Masjids.
Varis Bhai, I'm not yet. I don't understand Varis Pathan. Why don't you allow me to speak, sir?
Varis, let her speak. No, you've been speaking for 45 minutes. Yeah, let her speak, please.
बोलने तो दीजिए, मैं बोल लूं, फिर आप पूरे डिबेट में आप मुझे काउंटर कीजिएगा, मैं मना नहीं करूंगी। ये सिर्फ इन 3 मंदिरों की बात है जिसको लेकर के अगर हिंदू पक्ष कोई है और अगर हिंदुत्व की विचारधारा पर आप लोग बहस करना चाहते हैं, सिर्फ इन 3 मंदिरों की बात है। इन 3 मंदिरों के बारे में बात की जा रही है। इसके अलावा हम जानते हैं कि इतिहास में क्या हुआ। आप मत बताइए, ये इतिहासकारों ने लिखा, वो मुस्लिम इतिहासकारों, वो हिंदू इतिहासकारों, आपको पूरा आप एक सेक्युलर अलायंस बनाना चाहते हैं, हिस्टोरियंस का बनाइए और देखिए। तो मैं बात सिर्फ इतनी कह रही हूं कि इसमें इतना
अरे ये
इसमें इतना चिल्लसों की बात है ही नहीं।
I heard you now, allow me to make my point. I don't know, she will never finish. Arnab, allow me to make my point. I want to rebut. I want to stop her here.
I'm waiting for you to counter, Baba.
When the Places of Worship Act 1991 was enacted, and that 15 August 47, whatever structures are, then you cannot change the nature and character of the place.
मैंने भी आपकी बात सुन ली। अब मेरा भी जवाब सुन लीजिए ना। So Varis bhai, you made your point.
Let me give you a counter. We had apprehensions that this thing.
Varis, she's talking to you now. Varis, be decent, yeah. Don't be indecent. She's heard you. You be quiet now. Listen to her. Counter right now. Go ahead with your counter, Subrashta. Go ahead.
I completely respect Varis Pathan's views. So now let him commit on national television that because after Modi government came to power, a CAA law has been enacted in this country. These guys are never going to speak anything against CAA. Ask him to make that commitment here live on national television. If he is quoting a law from 1991 saying it's cast in stone, no discussion can happen about it in a democracy, then make a commitment. Make a commitment. मैं आप ही की बात को मैं कह रही हूँ, अनुमोदन कर रही हूँ।
They introduced the farm bill.
ये ना कि आप CAA पे बात नहीं करेंगे, पास हो गया पार्लियामेंट में एक लॉ बन गया।
फार्मर लॉ का भी तो यही बात है ना, बिल लाया, फिर मोदी
बिल्कुल। अब मैं बहुत शांति से कहना चाहती हूँ, अर्नब, may I please? वारिस भाई, मैं बात मान गई आपकी बात।
शांति से आपसे सवाल कर रहा हूँ। एक ही सवाल, सुब्रष्टा बहन, मैं आपसे एक ही सवाल कर रहा हूँ। सुब्रष्टा बहन, एक सवाल का जवाब देंगे आप मेरी? एक सवाल, मेरी बहन बोला हूँ आपको, एक सवाल। क्या आप प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट 1991 जो इनेक्ट हुआ है पार्लियामेंट से, उसको आप मानते हैं कि नहीं मानते हैं? हाँ या ना में जवाब दीजिए। चलिए,
अब आपने जब सवाल पूछा, मैं जवाब दे रही हूँ। जिस तरह से फार्म लॉज रिपील हो सकते हैं, उसी तरह से प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट भी रिपील हो सकते हैं। ये मेरे लोकतंत्र की ताकत है और इस लोकतंत्र की ताकत को मैं किसी को छीनने नहीं दूंगी। वारिस भाई, आपने बहन बोला, मैं भी आपको भाई कह रही हूँ। मैं आपकी बात का हाँ ना में ही स्पष्ट जवाब दे रही हूँ। अगर आप मानते हैं कि फार्म लॉज रिपील किया जाना लोकतांत्रिक था, मैं भी ये मानती हूं कि ये मेरे ही लोकतंत्र की सत्ता है, ये मेरे ही लोकतंत्र का साहस है कि मैं इसी लोकतंत्र में रहकर रिलीजियस एक्ट 1991 का जो है उसको मैं वापस उसमें संशोधन लाया जा सकता है। इसमें मुझे नहीं लगता है कि कोई गुरेज है या कोई
कब लाएंगे, कब 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 क्यों और कहां? तीनों क्वेश्चन है, कब क्यों और कहां नहीं ला सकते। अरे आप लोग चाह रहे हो जो करना, आपका एजेंडा के अगेंस्ट हो जाएगा। आई डोंट थिंक दैट मोदी एग्री, आई डोंट थिंक द प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी एग्रीज विथ योर व्यूज. I don't feel, Arnab, that Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister of the country, will agree with my sisters plus this view.
Okay.
The law is clear. You cannot change that. Law ban ke aapko masjid ke andar.
I'll tell you. I find it very amusing. I find it utterly amusing. I find it utterly amusing that we are talking, and I have an observation, provided DK Giri doesn't get angry. DK. And you know the unelectables in this country,
the places of worship,
the unelectables, they want anarchy.
It forms the basic structure of the constitution, and it cannot be repealed.
It's not applicable, Baba. The court has said it's not applicable. This questioning of 1991 place of worship here. Are you wiser than the Supreme Court? The matter is settled. The petition does not bring 1991 places of worship into effect. Please read, and please read what Justice Chandrachud has said today.
The student of law will be laughing at your knowledge, or perhaps you are deliberately doing this. You are deliberately.
The students of law are requesting you to come debate on my debate.
Repealed. The Places of Worship Act cannot be repealed because it is part of the business.
That is not even a question. That is a theoretical debate. That's a theoretical debate. Desha Nigam right now with Tosif.
Constitution cannot be repealed. So
let me answer, Tosif. You are too young to be. You don't have that much experience. Let me enlighten you.
Let me enlighten you. You know very well. You know very well.
Let me enlighten you. It is an act passed by the parliament. It is an act passed by the parliament, and parliament can take it.
You are saying
parliament can take it back. Any act passed by the parliament can repeal it, amend it, take it back.
You are
basic structure of the constitution. What is the basic structure of the constitution? It has to be in the constitution to be a basic structure.
Any law which
and 1991 act is not in the constitution.
I find it amusing. I will only say this. I will only say this, and I want DK and Mohandas Pai to come into it. Viewers, people have been saying this argument has been made by people like Rahul Gandhi. I shall not make a single comment on his awareness of the law or fact, or for that matter about the history of India, because these are contentious issues. I don't want to go there. What I find amusing is if Rahul Gandhi wanted to get himself a legal education, when they talk about judiciary being in danger, then somebody should tell Rahul Gandhi, DK, that is the judiciary being misused now? Yeah. Or was it misused, DK Giri, in the 1976 famous habeas corpus case, when the Supreme Court set aside 9 High Court judgments, all the case law, to rule against the enforcement of fundamental rights during the emergency? And Indira Gandhi applauded.
Yes.
And is the judiciary being misused now?
Yes.
Or was it misused when Indira Gandhi... Well, no, allow me, I haven't complete. Indira Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi's grandmother. Rahul Gandhi's grandmother superseded 3 judges who delivered the judgment in the Keshavananda Bharti case and appointed Justice A.N. Ray as Chief Justice of India. You have to know this. When I talk about history, you have to understand these people are such hypocrites. Is the judiciary under pressure now? Was it misused when Justice H.R. Khanna was superseded and Justice H.M. Begh was appointed as the Chief Justice of India? No. You see, I am telling you when the judiciary was in danger.
Let us remember.
And what I am saying, it's your responsibility. It is your responsibility as an informed citizen, as an academic, to now say that these subtle, indirect attempts to try and put an article here, put an article there, put some question mark here, put some question mark there, has to stop. Accept the judiciary for what it is, or don't accept it.
In a
It's black and white.
In a
Do you understand? You can't play around with the process. You can't play around with the process.
No, but let me tell you.
Yes.
In a parliamentary democracy, Parliament is supreme. Politics is supreme. I want to tell these lawyers here. It is not the courts which are supreme. It is Parliament. And the executive has always superseded officer. Who is your current foreign secretary now? Has he not superseded 2 seniors? Now, current foreign secretary. So politicians have done it. So we have
He's justifying.
We have to debate.
He's justifying.
We have to do politics.
He's justifying what happened.
Yes,
he's actually justifying Indira Gandhi's supersession of 3 judges who delivered the judgment in the Keshavananda Bharati case. Look at that. He's justifying what Indira Gandhi did. He's justifying what Indira Gandhi did. He's justifying what Indira Gandhi did. Fantastic. Please do so.
I am not. I have fought against it. I am fought against it. Or now
you are.
I came
You
from
are.
JP
You are.
movement
Because you. One minute, DK. I really want to debate with you on this. DK, I really want to debate with you. Now you've touched my raw nerve here, DK. You've touched my raw nerve here. I'm going to debate with you. And now I'll ask you the real question here. You see, I've been listening to this thing. 1 minute.
Sure.
First of all, please let's bring down tempers a little bit, okay? I'll tell you one thing. Thank God for the judiciary. Because had it not been for the judiciary, today, the way some state governments are functioning in this country, any journalist who questions them has a regular 20 FIRs put against him or her. These politicians who make a mockery of the investigative process, attack the media, try to pressurize it, had it not been for the judiciary, and I'm not talking of BJP ruled states, you see what's happening in non-BJP ruled states. Just see how they are behaving with the media. Half the media would be in jail. Thank God for the judiciary. But let's go beyond the media.
I agree with you.
You remember,
Let me tell you.
today all of you people say judiciary being subverted. Was the judiciary subverted now, or was it subverted when right after the Allahabad High Court verdict?
You are right.
Right after the Allahabad High Court verdict. Allow me, sir. Let me speak, sir. Let me speak. DK, let me speak. DK, unlike you, I don't speak in generalities, and I'm an extremely well-informed person about my country's contemporary history, even before my birth. Now listen to me, sir. Listen to me, sir. I'll tell you one thing, sir. You were a senior person. I was an infant, 1975, sir. 1975, I was an infant. You were not. You will remember the case. I've only read about it. Now listen to me, sir. 1975.
Yes.
Allahabad High Court verdict convicted Indira Gandhi of electoral malpractices, and then on 2nd June 1975, Indira Gandhi imposed emergency illegally. That is called the subversion of judiciary. I request you, sir, with folded hands, let these people who have supported the subversion of the judiciary not give us lectures now. Am I right, Mohandas Bhai? These people are giving lectures now. These people who broke the rules disrespected the judiciary for decades. For decades.
You remember
Mohandas Bhai is on the debate.
Your uncle was a part of it, Arnab. Your uncle was a part of it. I worked with him. Don't forget JP movement. We fought against emergency. Dinesh Goswami fought along with us. You see, he was our colleague. You don't forget that. You only quoting the part of the history. I fought emergency as a student during JP movement. So don't attribute that to me. I am only making a point that politics governs the country.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you, sir, since you now, I never bring my family into this. I never bring it, but since you mentioned my late uncle Dinesh Goswami, I can tell you, sir, you are fully aware of his role in the emergency, not only his, of numerous people. And you are completely aware that a bunch of young people in the 1970s sacrificed their political careers, sacrificed their legal careers to fight the injustice of that period, sir, and the electoral malpractices and the judicial malpractices that happened. You speak of my uncle, sir. My uncle was a young lawyer at that point of time who came into politics, and our entire family has gone through tremendous sacrifice at that process. But what I'm telling you is, and I will not speak of my uncle, sir. I will not speak of my uncle, sir. I will not speak of my uncle, sir. My uncle's political career is his own, though I have the greatest regard for him. But no, sir, let's not. Sir, please, Mr. Giri, I'll tell you.
He was a public figure. He was
my uncle was, and he has.
Of the law,
yes, sir, but we are not discussing my uncle right now. Let's go to the issue.
Mislead your viewers.
Let's go to the issue.
The
issue is what? The issue is today, Mohandas Pai. The issue is not this, sir. The issue is I want to speak my mind, Mohandas Pai, one line. I have felt that there are people who have felt so arrogant that they feel they could even put indirect pressure on the. They've tried it on the media, but they thought they could do it on the judiciary. And I am so impressed with the absolute balance with which the observations unaffected way are coming from the court. It should be a lesson to these people, Mohandas Pai. That's all I have to say.
Arnab, let me say this. All of us have a duty to stand up for the court's independence and to obey the judgments and to stand up against people who are pressurizing the court, who are trying to put the court into bad light. All of us have a duty to do that. And because our life and liberty in this country is dependent on the courts. Arnab, you have been attacked by the government in Maharashtra. You have been attacked by a government in Rajasthan. And only the court can rescue.
Mr. Pai.
Anybody attacks Waris Patan, where will he go? Anybody attacks Warin Patan, where will he go? He go to the courts. So we have to stand up for the courts. We have to make sure all these people who try to bring down the courts are exposed.
I was also detained, Arnab.
Yes.
For 8 hours I was detained and I was not allowed to go for a peaceful protest.
Yes.
The constitution has given me the right that I can go and attend a protest.
Stand up for the court.
Government
Stand up for the court,
I was not allowed to go.
Stand up for the court,
my rights to protest peacefully.
This has been a really fantastic debate, and I'd say this, that at the end of the day, if we think we are upholding democracy, we need to show complete regard
for the courts
and not disregard for the law, and especially not for those who are duty bound to uphold the law and not those who are meant to interpret the law. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great debate. I'll see you soon. For now, goodbye.